Your nation, your news. One American News Network.
Welcome back. Our News from the Hill segment tonight. President Trump and Republicans took a major step forward in their tax reform efforts today, with Senator Rand Paul announcing he's all in on President Trump's bill. Now, Trump wants to cut taxes for most Americans, but all of a sudden, Democrats are worried about deficits. Funny, because we never heard anything from Democrats during the 8 years President Obama was bankrupting the country. Listen to President Trump on his tax reform plan.
It will be the largest tax cut in the history of our country. Here are some of the highlights from our framework. We are doubling the amount of income that is taxed at the zero bracket. In other words, the zero bracket, many people will be able to take advantage of that bracket that are not in that bracket. We're increasing the child tax credit. We will end the estate tax, sometimes referred to as the death tax. We will cut the business tax rate from the highest in the developed world at 35% to no more than 20%. According to the Council of Economic Advisors, reducing the corporate tax rate from 35 to 20% would increase average household income by $4,000 a year. So each household, on average, would take in $4,000, and they'll go out and they'll spend that money, and that'll be great for the economy.
With me now, Forbes columnist and economic analyst Tom Landstreet. Tom, thanks for being here. So when Trump says each household's going to get $4,000 more a year, is that accurate?
I haven't done that math, but yes, they will definitely benefit. And by the way, those same households, if you look at average household income over the last 20 years, it's actually now below where it was in 2000. So the average household has actually gone backwards. So this will be a real big gift.
Yeah, and we have a tweet from Senator Rand Paul. He says that I'm all in for tax cuts at real Donald Trump, the biggest, boldest cuts possible and soon. Now, he's the only Republican who didn't back the budget bill passed by his party this week. So what do you make of Senator Rand Paul jumping in on this?
I'd like to hug him. He's a budget hawk, okay, and I understand that. And so is my Senator Corker, who I like very much. He's from Tennessee. I understand that. But right now, Americans need a break. And this economy, which has been moribund, as you know, for 20 years, needs a jolt. And this will certainly give economic activity a major boost. Everyone benefits. Joblessness will decline. Prosperity will increase. Thank you, Rand Paul, for taking tax credits, first and foremost. We can get around to cutting spending if the Republicans survive the next election cycle, which, by the way, if we have a great economy, their odds go way up.
Tom, in Senator Sanders, he's just been all over the place making the media rounds. And it's like I just can't get this ringing out of my head of him saying, oh, it's just for the 1%, tax cuts for the rich, Robin Hood in reverse. What's the argument against this? I mean, those are some easy talking points. And so leftists and the mainstream media, they all go along with it and say, oh, the evil Republicans, they're just going to give money to their rich friends that don't need it anyway. So what would you say to those people who are generally concerned?
I want more rich people. That's what I would say. And I want them to be rich. And there's one way to get rich, and that is to be able to keep more of what you earn. To get the incentives to be able to grow your business, this is all very populist. The Republicans' view of tax rates and tax cuts and free market, free enterprise economics is very populist. He's wrong. He's very 1970s.
Yeah, I mean, our country needs to be competitive when it comes to taxes. And if you tax the rich too much, they're just going to go somewhere else and do business. So that's pretty obvious. And what are the odds of tax reform actually coming out of Congress? We've seen a lot of, setbacks with Obamacare. And while we've seen the wall prototypes going up for the border, that's good news. We still don't have a budget for that. So what about the odds of tax reform?
I think they're high now. I mean, since Rand Paul jumped on it, you've lost one, kind of persnickety potential negative vote. I think Corker's going to vote for it. These are two budget hawks that have probably the greatest, I'd say, incentive not to vote for it, and they both say they are. I think it's going to go through. I'm very excited. I'm almost nervous.
Yeah, and I heard a little chatter about an extra bracket, but we're all out of time, so we'll have to have you talk about it next time. Thank you.